Welcome everyone to Arts Cuts on Everything. I am your host Eileen, aka Eileen the Crafter. Additional information about this podcast show and my little crafter show, which is on YouTube, can be found on my website eileenthelittlecrafter.com. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I just want to give a special shout out to all my listeners on SoundCloud. You guys are amazing. You rock. And thank you for everybody who has been listening, whether it's on YouTube, on my blog, website, Facebook, Instagram, because I do, I don't share audio on that, but I do share, when a new podcast is up. Where else? Twitter, Tumblr. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. But hold the spam, please. I've been getting a lot of crazy messages, especially from SoundCloud. People, out of all places. Instagram is another place that is kind of weird. Where else? Tumblr used to be every now and again. A heck of a lot of spam from Yahoo, but and even a little bit from Skype. But yeah, so crazy. But yeah, so like I said, hold the spam. I do appreciate the listens if you guys are really listening and the likes. So thank you so much. So moving along, so I figured I'm working really hard. I think that the files are on a backup drive or on my Dropbox account. I gotta definitely look it up. I'm trying to get the interviews up that I have because they're really great interviews, and I appreciate everybody who is on the the first Arts and Crafts. This is kind of like the second rebirth / continuation of Arts Crafts and everything in between. But I would like to try and get those interviews up, definitely, because they are really special to me. So please be a little more patient with that. So I kind of figured, I would give you guys a re-update of getting to know me. Okay, I am, as you guys know, I have a website, which is eileenthelittlecrafter.com. You guys can always email me comments or questions, show informations, or if you guys are doing something that's, pretty interesting, whether it's photography, author, if you're an author, would like to hear from you as well. A crafter, you can always email me at Eileen at thelittlecrafter.com. So here's me in a nutshell. I am 42 years old. I live right now in Brooklyn, New York. I've been happily married for about, I would say, he's gonna kill me for this one. I think we've been together 17 and we've been married 6, or is it going to be 16? I always messed it up somehow. My apologies. At least I remember the date. Anyways, so yeah, we have one son, two crazy cats. So yeah, I'm originally, I have always been a New Yorker. I lived in California for a couple of years. We moved out there for a couple of years, so I got a little bit of different perspective. I haven't been out of the country. I've traveled a little bit here and there, not that much, but California, Florida, Boston, Virginia. So I've done a little bit of traveling within the states, not much, but enjoy myself when I do that. I'm a crafter. I've been a crafter now for, my son was either 1 or about to turn 1. So he's 12 now. So I want to say for about 11 to 12 years now. So it's been something like that. Time flies when you're having fun. I started off with scrapbooking, and then from there it went to cards, and then from there it went to tags, ACT cards. I've done oh boy, goodness gracious, ACTs. I also started out doing mixed media work, ICADs, which is index cards dailies. I've done index cards, and somewhere in between there, I've done a little bit of home decor. I also started working on frames and canvases. I've done a couple of those, and I do have a lot of videos up on my YouTube channel, which is, if you look for The Little Crafter Show or just look for Eileen the Little Crafter, you will find that. But I'll put a link to my channel down below so you guys can check out what kind of videos that I have. I do like birthday cards, Christmas cards, or holiday cards, excuse me. Christmas, holiday, birthday cards, Valentine's Day cards, anniversary cards. And I recently done a bachelorette party that I didn't get a chance to film. So I was very disappointed about that. And so yeah, maybe I might recreate something like that again. Or this process that I did that card with. I used my Cricut and some paints. I painted that one that I did. I do work a lot with my Cricut. I like cutting out different types of shapes. I'm not really good with scissors, so I use the Cricut, which is an electronic cutting machine. It cuts out a lot of different shapes from different types of materials. You do have a subscription, and you can just buy the cartridges separately, or even through your iOS device. I don't know about the the Android device. I don't know anything about that. So if you are an Android user, you may want to check up on that. They also have a lot of great videos up on that on YouTube as well. They even have a YouTube channel themselves. So if you look up Cricut or the official Cricut on YouTube, then you'll find it. I own the Expression, the first one. I don't own an Air 1 or 2. So yeah, I do own a lot of different machines. I'm kind of a machine nut. I just got a Sizzix machine because my Vagabond finally kind of kaput on me. So I got a great deal on the new die cutting machine. It's not electronic, it's a die machine. It's big dies and wafer dies. Which basically dies are just, like they're like a box, a little box form. Some dies are like that, or wafer thin, which means they just are the cutting blade with the shape. So those are a little tricky to work with because they like to shift a little more. So yeah, but they're fun. All dies are fun and cool to work with. And I definitely will have a video of that, showing you guys what that looks like. And putting down the link. One day I'm just gonna be like, okay, well, I have a video for this, and you guys can check this out if you guys want to know information about that, and this, that, and the third. I am a YouTuber. I've been YouTubing for a little less than my crafting, when I started crafting. But it's always been fun. I love YouTubing. It's a little challenging. The lighting, the sounds, it's just, for me it's challenging, especially when I live in such a urban area, because there's always construction. And I think I've mentioned this before, that I'm living in a neighborhood where it's up and coming and a lot of new people are moving in. So with that, buildings are being torn down, some of them more empty lots are being filled in, which is cool, but it's annoying because of the noise and the dust, and just sometimes I feel like the inconsideration of other people, that they're not considerate towards you, but you have to be considerate towards them. It's a little nerve-wracking, but it is what it is. I get through it. So anyways, I do home decor. I love paints. I'm starting to get into paints. I want to start using colored pencils soon. Not too sure if I might get into Copics. I've been thinking about it on and off, but I do plan on getting the skin tones because I like the results of the skin tones in projects that I've seen versus the projects that I've done. The skin tone looks a little different, and I like that results. So maybe I might just get a pack of skin tone markers from Copic. And so that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about getting the Prisma color pencils, which if you guys haven't seen it, they have it's so funny because they actually have a commercial, which is so cool. But yeah, I don't know about the blending part. I think that the blending, basically you would have to use like a Gambasol or something else. I forgot what else did they use. But I've seen them use Gambasol with the little stump or stick, and then you just blend it out. But I would definitely just give that a try. So I love making my own mini books. I own like 2 different types of machines to make mini books, or mini albums, which basically hold my scrapbooking photo papers or whatever. I love making 12 by 12 all the way down to, I think the best size for me to work with is 8 by 8s. I've done a 4 by 4 once, but I like the 8 by 8s. That's the smallest size that I like to work with. I normally make, 6 by 6 are pretty cool too. Anything smaller than that is a little bit more of a challenge, because then I'm like, oh, I want to add this, or, I don't really like the chunky minis that much. I mean, I think they're cute, but I don't like making them. I don't know. Because I always have a hard time figuring out how to make a closure for them, or if it looks right, or just, I don't know. I like watching other people make them and seeing their results. It's just, I'm weird like that. I started out with scrapbooking. I was a little hesitant about becoming a scrapbooker, and I have to thank my stepmother Nydia and my sister Natalie. We had our first scrap one time, and it was so funny. And I still have that first page that I made, and I've just been so grateful for them for that. And they've just been like, "Oh God, you ran with it, girl. You just literally." When I started telling them, "Oh, I watch YouTube, and I've done this and this that," and "Oh yeah, I make videos on YouTube now," and they're like, "Holy cow!" And then, hey, I'm doing a podcast, and like, her? I just kind of ran with it, and I just decided that, this was really fun, and I will explain to you how I got into, into podcasting in a little bit. I started off scrapbooking, and I was told, excuse me, through a mutual, acquaintance of a school chum. Well, actually, I think she was his wife at the time. I don't know. Anyways, he and I went to school, and we were at an ex's house, and she politely told me, kind of slyly, that I was not. Well, it was not very polite. She just was very snotty and was like, "Oh, you wouldn't be good with scrapbooking." And I just looked at her. I didn't say anything, but I just was surprised that somebody would come out and say that. Like, honestly, scrapbooking is the funnest and easiest thing you could ever do. And I think that anybody at any level can do this. Once I got a hang of it, and once I learned a few tips and tricks, because I wanted to learn just for my whatchamacallit, but even if you don't sit down and learn anything, go right on ahead. The only thing that I would say, try to use glue that will not eat up your photos. Acid-free glue is like the best, and Elmer's glue work, because that's what we originally started off with, and every now and again I will still use Elmer's glue to work on a project. So and so what I was gonna say, so I was just a little worried, I didn't really want to. I was like, oh God, kind of standoffish about it in the beginning, and then once I sat down and we were chatting and having fun and just being ourselves, I really had or being myself, I had a great time, and I got hooked, and ever since then I never looked back. I just wanted to be more and more creative. I started out, small, and then I love every year trying to make a new wreath for our door, which is always a challenge to come up with a new, for me anyways, for a new idea or what's our style as a family. Um, Not just represent me, with my crafting, but I like to, incorporate my husband's style of, not he's not a crafter, but he does make his own rings. So hey, David, just giving you a shout out. So we talk about it. We're like, oh, I like this, or this looks cool, or so we kind of bounce off, ideas to one another about this, then, and third. So I try to make a wreath that's going to incorporate his style and also my style as well. So it's not too manly and it's not too girly. It's somewhere in between, and that's an interesting balance to make. And it's also fun. It's a fun little challenge I make for myself. Because I don't want to just look at it and be like, oh, yay, And my husband's like, oh, God, it's so girly. Like, really? You put that on our door? Which I know he may or he may not say that, but... but that's always the thought process in my head. So anyways, oh my goodness. So, yeah. So... scrapbooking is amazing. Card making is extremely fun, and even if you pick one of those cards that you use your computer for to make your own photo cards, I think that's also being creative. Even if you go to somebody and pick out your favorite photo of you and your family, or just you, or whatever the case may be, or your pets, I think that's also being creative, and it's something that you have to put your thought process into, and it's just exciting to see the end results. So I think that everyone in some small way is creative, whether it be working from the smallest thing to the biggest thing. I think that we all have a creative side to us. I kind of feel that everyone's like, oh, I'm not creative, oh, I don't have those. I think that you are creative in some small way, and you just don't realize it until you kind of have to sit back or somebody has to tell you that. So that's just me giving you that wake-up call. What else about me? So you guys know I am a mother. My son is autistic, so that's a bit of a challenge. But he is funny, smart as a whip, and a teenager, or going to be a teenager. So holy cow on that one. He's an only child. I am the oldest of 4. Wait, hold on. Yeah. I'm the oldest of, well, it's 5, including myself. Sorry. So that's pretty interesting. The oldest, I think I'm like the 3rd oldest grandchild. Or the 1st oldest grandchild. And 3rd oldest cousin. Something like that. I don't remember. Yeah, we have a pretty huge, big family. And, I love crafting. It's really fun, and it gives me a chance to use a different part of me that, is free, and, I'm not a real huge color person, but I love watching other people make projects that are bold and colorful. Mine is kind of in between, a little bit grungy, gear skulls with jean roses, a little bit of glitter, a little bit of bling here and there. So I like a little bit of color. My favorite colors are blue, green. Well, actually, green is my favorite color. Blue is my second. Black. Total New Yorker, right? Black all day, every day. Brown, a splash of red. I like working with yellows a little bit. Oranges are pretty cool. I'm not a pink person. Can't stand the color pink. I know. So yeah. So that is me. pretty much in a nutshell for that one. The reason why I got into podcasting is I have seen a couple of audio and visual podcasting that were interesting, but never really knew how to start my own podcast. My husband was talking to me about other podcasters that he was interested in, and I heard them, and I thought that this was pretty cool. So I started really researching the idea on and off. I wanted to actually start it where it was something he and I would do together, but then I just kind of thought, well, you know what, this is more my thing. He likes listening to them, and he'll be a part of it every now and again. We had that conversation on and off. So the premise was he'll be my co-host every now and again, and I will have hosts every now and again, and try and keep the podcasting to as much as I can as to crafting, because we can exhaust that whatchamacallit. In the beginning, the show was kind of like a catch-all, and I really was doing things about anime. I was doing things about a little bit about mixed media work. I was doing about digital scrapbooking or digital papers. Here and there, I was just touching little subjects, and so now the premise is still kind of the same, but I really want to keep the focus as much as possible on crafting. I love to share my ideas, my what I've learned, my take, my twist on it. And you guys, I would love to hear what your thoughts on your thought process about how you came across a certain project, or your twist on something that you may have heard from me or from somebody else. I'm always interested in learning new things, and I feel like I'm the person that's always a forever student. That I just love learning new things, and I think that learning something new is really a really great way. I don't know. To me, it makes me happy. That's one of the things that I love. Learning something new always makes me happy, and I just want to share that joy with you of learning something new, being passionate. And if you guys have always been interested in it but not really know where to start, hopefully this will give you a good starting point in some in some way. Because I got that through someone. I got that through my stepmother and my sister. I got that through watching my sisters. One was a good writer, the other one was good with drawing and dressmaking. I got that through watching my cousin, who is an awesome photographer, and I love taking photos, but her photos are just bomb diggity. I got that through listening to my friend Lisa Morrow with her stories, and even her cooking just inspires me. It's beautiful to look at the pictures, and her photography as well is amazing, and her singing, whew, that girl can sing. And watching everybody else share their passion, their joys, whether it's, because I started something also, and this is probably not related to, the show, but every now and again you may hear it about it. I started a life journey. I'm no longer sharing that because at this point I kind of feel like I need some time, a break from that. But I'm still trying to work on me losing weight. It's almost a year now, and I'm actually really happy with myself. I'm staying within a 40 to 50 pound weight loss. So I'm really, really excited about that. That it's been a year and that I've kept that weight off. Next year I would like to try and up the ante to a 50 to 60 pound weight loss. Just do it on my pace. And I started doing that with Advocare. Lisa Morrow was, and is still my coach. And watching others, their creativity to try and maintain the weight, new ideas for how to use different products, how to make food a little bit more appealing to them, their recipes, things like that. And that has inspired me as well. I think that is something that I enjoy as well. So that is is something that I think that is pretty cool, and I love that, about people, that they're willing to share and be inspiring and just show their creative, fun ideas that, really make me go, wow, wow, that is awesome, And whether it's a big idea, whether it's a small idea, to me, any idea is just really, really cool. Not all ideas are cool. Let me just put it out there. There are just some really dumb ideas that I have heard, and I just go, I don't know about that. Or if it's something that, an idea that goes against my core beliefs, I'm like, no, not interested. Sorry, But, I mean, even then, I guess, you try to hear somebody out and explain to them, why you disagree with them. And I think that, if you can, at some point, agree to disagree, then, hey, it's a mutual understanding. And I think that's another win, because that's another way of trying to understand people. And to me, that's awesome, because, you just learn how to be civil. And, this day, being civil with people is just, it's hard. I could admit that. I've seen, myself not being civil with people, and it's just like, oh, I don't feel so great, But at the end of the day, it's kind of, you tried your best. And then there are days where you're civil and you're like, wow, that was difficult, but it came out great at the end, So you're not always going to get it right. And no, that project is always not going to be perfect, and you may not always have the time to film a project, or you may not always have a time to do a podcast. But, I give it my shot, and I give it my all, and I just really enjoy myself. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have hobbies that keep me sane. And that's the reason why I do it, to share my love and keep myself sane. Share my passions and like I said, to keep me sane. That's basically the premise of it all, I guess, in some small way. And share with you guys what I've learned, what I enjoy, what would be fun if you guys wanted to give it a shot. Because I know that there's a lot of people that ask me, oh, how do you do this? Or, what about this? And when people hear that I'm a crafter, they're like, oh, you do this and then do that. And, so it's pretty fun to share your ideas. The funniest things that I've ever encountered is when I am talking to my stepmother. She's talking to me about a project that she's thinking about doing, and we spend hours on the phone talking about, oh, what about this? Did you see this? Or, oh, did you see that? Oh, this would be a great idea. What about this? It's like, it never stops. Like, I literally feel like we should start writing these things down so that maybe one day we can. I don't know. It's fun. I love it. It makes me really, think a lot, and I just enjoy myself. Right now I'm undertaking a project that is Christmas cards. I'm going to be making holiday cards, and then I'm going to be making a wreath for the door. I decided to do a jean material wreath. I found, what was it? I found a branch, like holly branch. It looks like hollies, but it's blue. And it was so funny because I was looking at them, and they had like all these other colors, and I was like, oh, even if they have like a traditional, I'll do like a red and green one, like a traditional one, and call it a day. But then when I saw the last, I think it was like one of the last blue ones, and I was like, oh, I really don't need that many. So I picked out the blue one, and then I was like, okay, I don't really have an idea, so I just started pulling out this, and I'm like, oh, you know what, let me use that jean ribbon that I have gotten from Michaels. Some of it got a little wrecked, so I don't know if I'm going to use all of it. Just I may have to use some of it, and then I decided to use an old pair of jeans that I haven't worn, so I just cut them up, and I'll do something with them. And, I looked on Google. I Googled some jean materials. I have a few ideas, but not much. And then I got some sparkly stuff, because it's Christmas, and white ribbon, and, so it's pretty cool. I can't wait to start working on that. And then, yeah, so to recap, this podcast is about sharing my love of crafting and to keep me sane. And I think that, everyone is creative in their own little way, and that you need to somehow foster that creativity And don't doubt yourself. If you want to learn how to draw, if you want to learn how to color, if you want to learn how to do whatever, don't let anything or anyone, even yourself, that inner voice inside of you, don't let that, negative voice get to you. Just try and have fun and enjoy yourself. And even if it doesn't come out right, it's okay. Not every time I make a project that it comes out, I have to either start from scratch or just walk away for a little while and then come back to it and start over if I can, or just do something different. But to try and do something creative and fun and something that you enjoy that makes you happy is always a good thing. So don't go crazy. So anyway, guys, that's me in a nutshell, and I hope that you have enjoyed this podcast, and thank you for listening. And I will see you next week, and bye for now.